Okay, try it again. Good morning, everyone. This is the Vermont House Committee on Commerce and Economic Development. It is Friday, February 13th, 2026 at 11:30. So today we're here to, with advocates for Vermont Housing and Conservation Coalition. So we're here to take some testimony from them. So first we have David Newell. David, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm in our busy ticket office here, but I can hear you pretty well.
So just for the record, state your name, your affiliation, and go on with your testimony.
My name is David Newell, and I'm the president of the Prospect Mountain Association, which is a 501c3 that now owns and operates the Prospect Mountain Nordic Trail Center. We appreciate the opportunity to testify on behalf of the VHCB today, and thanks for the opportunity. I'd love to be there in person, and I have done that before with the legislature, but today we have the Williams College Winter Carnival going on up here, which is a great event that includes 12 Division I college teams competing, and it probably attracts over 200 folks total of the community who stay here last night and tonight, and also patronize our restaurants and gift shops. So it's a great economic driver for our area in the wintertime. And something like this would not have been possible without the great support we got from the VHCB on the grant. And I consider the VHCB grant an investment in our area, and certainly the local economy has benefited from that. In 2018, we had the opportunity to purchase Prospect, and we did, for the total of $900,000. We knew we couldn't raise all of that, and with the help of the Vermont Land Trust, we submitted a grant to VHCB, and they generously believed in our program and our mission and awarded us $265,000. We would not have been able to complete the purchase without that, and it also enabled people who wanted to donate and enthused quite a bit more enthusiasm when they realized that an organization like the VHCB was behind what we were doing. Really helped a lot. And since then, we've had, now this is our 9th season, a fairly successful operation up here. But again, the issue is the local economic support we got from the grant. The staff of the VHCB was outstanding in helping us, very professional. Gus Seelig and his great team that worked for them. And we, in addition to what we have today with the Williams Carnival, we also had the Massachusetts State Championships here 2 days ago on 3 days on Tuesday. That involved 300 skiers. Again, they stayed in the local area. We also sponsor up here the Bill Koch Youth Ski League. We have an elementary school program. So we open this place to recreational skiing for people of all ages. The high school, local high school, public high schools race here, Mount Anthony and others, as well as the college, as you know. But perhaps even more importantly, we have recreational skiing up here, which includes 380 season pass holders every year. They're from 6 different states that come to Southern Vermont to enjoy our trails. And again, a great boost to the local economy. And our skier days last year, which we reported to the Forest Service, was 27,000. So it gives you some idea how much these trails are used in about a 100-day season, assuming we have the weather working in our favor. Prospect is a recruiting tool for local business and the hospital when they're recruiting professionals and doctors. This is a great recreational resource here, which I think helps bring qualified people to work in our area. Last year, we had the New England 5-state competition, including New York State, for the under-16 championships. And next year, we are going to be pulling off the Bill Koch Youth Ski League, again, a 5-state festival, and that will involve 600 skiers. So wish us luck on that one. But we'll find a way to get through that. But again, these are the kind of events that are going on here that really was initially jump-started by the great grant that we got from the VHCB. So I certainly would encourage the committee to support their budget request of $37 million. And I'm sure other stories for the folks who testify after me will have the same good comments about the support that they got from the VACB as well.
Probably tomorrow, yes. But after that, I'll go back to my cycle test.
Feel free to take some questions if you have some.
Okay. Any questions for David?
There you go.
Okay, David, thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Do you have any recommendations?
Mary Ann?
Doesn't matter because we head up that way, we have a separator up. and forth.
Share.
Okay, there's another chair. Okay.
She's getting ready. For those of you who don't know, it snows at Prospect way more than anywhere else in southern Vermont. So it is a magnet when the earth is bare down low and everyone's like, what's going on? But it'll be, no.
Enable me to share.
For the record, could you state your name?
It's disabled. Kathy Reynolds. I live in Tinsmith, an hour away, and I'll drive there.
Thank you. Been a great year for it, that's for sure.
Everybody has a baby.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Mary Ann Goulet. I'm the town manager for West Rutland, and I'm the latest poster child for Cornerstone Housing. We just unveiled our latest, their latest project in the fall. So thank you for this opportunity to talk to you about the Marble Village project. Should I? So this is what it looked like before. This was in April 2021. I invited Mary Cohen to visit a site in West Rutland. It was a former corner store that had burned several years ago. Next to that was a vacant lot, and next to that was another vacant storefront, which had been vacant for probably 7 years total. Lots of contaminated soil, no bites on redevelopment, and obviously Grand List was suffering. Not to mention it was a huge eyesore in the middle of town. During that visit, we began to envision something different, a housing centerpiece that could transform our village center while providing much needed homes for local residents. The location was ideal, within walking distance of the grocery store, post office, pharmacy, school, and recreation areas, making it a natural hub for vibrant community living. This project has been a true team effort. Our select board embraced the vision. Our planning commission had to work on zoning regs to allow for increased density. Cornerstone and Evernorth were exceptional partners, working alongside town officials and community members to really create a development we can all be proud of. Marble Village will serve as a cornerstone for our community, providing much needed housing while enhancing the quality of life for residents. It represents an investment in our future and a powerful example of how thoughtful partnerships and strategic public support can help build a stronger, more vibrant West Rutland. We are deeply grateful for the Vermont Housing Conservation Board for its investment in our community. Without your support, this redevelopment would not have been possible. The project has already been locally embraced by the community, and residents are already asking an exciting question: what comes next? There's another equally blighted building right next to it. So we're already working on doing something there. And Dave, you see it every day you go by.
Indeed.
So remediated the blight, had to clean out the contaminated soils, which was $600 and something thousand, providing the perpetually affordable housing. Increased our grant.
Contamination, was it gas? estate?
Everything. It was
Urban soils, and I think there were 6 underground storage tanks that we had to remove, and this is a small 1.7 acres or something. It's very
Do you know if you went through the petroleum cleanup fund to?
we did.
So this is allowing our, downsizing for our seniors, because there's a lot of seniors in big old houses, and this is a allowing them to move in and let the new families move in. So, and this is what it looks like. 24 units, and it's the center of town. And it was, you know, we did the ribbon cutting in October of November, and 16 months later, we were opening the door. So really quick, using all the local contractors.
The same, one of my towns in Newport Center. They had a couple of lighted properties and came in and redid them. So huge difference for a community.
So because of me, Mary's phone is ringing off the hook now. They're like, wait, how did that happen? And I'm like, well, you know, it took a little while to get everything ready. Sorry. One more slide. You might recognize a few people in this. Ribbon cutting in November.
Good. I'm sure you know about the CHIP program.
Yes, yes. So that's, hopefully we can use that for the next project.
We're also, speaking of, we're having some discussions about tax stabilization. And how that could be helpful to small projects.
Yes, we do have a policy already. We have an industrial park that we've used that for. So, so this is, you know, it was, that'll be helpful as well.
Dave?
I was just gonna comment to drive by in the before circumstance to in this after circumstance and see Christmas tree lights in the windows and stuff. Just total remarkable. My only concern was the white building in the back there is the famous Mary's Cafe, and I was concerned I might not be able to get a seat there anymore.
He's expanding too. So
Yes.
it's, you know, it all trickles.
Thanks so much. I was curious, how large is West Rutland?
2,500.
So 24 units, it's like a significant.
Yes, we actually have a few, how many units do we have that you manage?
We manage about 50 units, more, 60 units in the restaurant.
Within the,
Yeah, we transformed an old Polish parochial school into housing units a number of years ago. So we have a few
Senior
units.
site too.
Yeah.
and is, you mentioned the, you know, blighted property sort of tax roll drag. Is there any payment to the town in lieu of taxes for the new village center?
Yes.
We pay taxes.
So it's a
So what we, but we create a for-profit entity, and so they contribute taxes as such. It's a slight discount because we have a market, you know, we are.
Right. I see, because of the targeting various housing incomes
But it's still pretty significant, you know, 25,000, so.
would be, all right, that was my next question. Thank you.
You could
We
just,
haven't sent our new tax bill yet, so I don't know how much it is.
Is Mary Cohen, and I'm the CEO of Cornerstone Housing Partners.
It was Kathy Reynolds.
Hello, let's get to where I want to be. So my name is Kathy Reynolds, and I am the incoming board chair of Cornerstone Housing Partners. And maybe you don't recognize the name Cornerstone Housing Partners, and the reason is we used to be 3 separate entities. And thanks to the support of our friends at PHEB, we are now one unified organization. So think about this. Rutland West Neighborhood Housing Services was its own entity in Rutland, as was the Housing Trust of Rutland County. And for 30 years, they operated side by side, not competing, separate buildings, separate staff, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Year after year, why don't you guys merge? 2 very strong-willed, independent executive directors said, no, thank you. And then they both retired the same year. So PhD, why don't you guys merge? So we got so much support, and these are really independent organizations with their own boards. So it was a very thoughtful, very considered process. We worked on culture. How are we going to create a new board? We each had over 10. I know we're not going to have a 30-person board. So it was hard. But we did it and we merged in July of 24. And then our friends at VHCB said, you know, you really need to take on Shires in Bennington. They're really having trouble and they'll be a much stronger organization if they're part of your team. So we brought them into our fold on January 1 of 2025, just about a year ago. And don't let anyone tell you that merging is easy. It's really hard. I wrote a list of how hard it is. Imagine this, 54 staff, 3 IT systems, 3 financial systems, 4 offices, 3 executive teams, 3 workplace cultures, and 4 boards of directors. And the list goes on. And I think it's pretty fair to say that we couldn't have done it without the support of VHCP. So now we have one unified, strong organization. We oversee and manage over 800 apartments in 2 counties. We provide homeownership services through our NeighborWorks affiliate arm for Rutland County, Bennington County, Addison County, and the Northeast Kingdom. We're doing homeownership assistance, down payment assistance, homeowner education, energy efficiency audits, project management, low interest loans, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we now can offer our residents in our communities a path from a home in an apartment that's affordable. Ideally, the big win would be to homeownership. So that really has become kind of our arching goal as an organization. And we're a year in, still a work in progress. But it was a great support that we got from VHCB. And I think that's really part of what I want to share with you today is like VHCB is so important to our housing developments. You heard that from Marianne, you experienced it in your town. It's really hard and expensive to build new housing. I can tell you for a fact that it does not happen in Rutland or Bennington County very often without help. So VHCB is supporting our organizations. We are a network of organizations across the state, all relying on VHCB as part of our funding stack. And just the fact that that is the word that people use for how do you actually develop affordable housing in this state, it requires a stack. It's not like you can just take out a loan and make the numbers work. The numbers don't work. That's why no one else is doing it. It's really expensive and it's really hard to be a landlord. Our tenants need so much support and we're doing it thanks to the help we get from organizations like VHCB. Cornerstone is no exception. We are all the organizations are receiving great assistance. So VHCB doesn't just fund housing. Some of the examples, in addition to our merger support, pre-development funding, Mary gets a phone call. Ooh, this one might be interesting. Well, you have to do some work to find out if it'll actually work. And you can't get money until it's a project. So we get some pre-development funding, flexible financing tools, technical assistance to our organization to expand staffing. We now are an organization of 54 and we need an HR person. Oops, we never did when we were groups of 15. We need more IT help. We are a much bigger system. Processing so many, imagine 800 rent checks a month and all the bills associated with that. So we've gotten lots of support. And through the support that the local housing organizations get, we've then been able to help our communities leverage substantial federal, private, and philanthropic resources to help build those funding stacks to make those projects and communities work. So I think I mentioned this. Rutland and Bennington counties are rural. Anybody who's ever been there, like how many big, huge apartments buildings do you see that were built in the last 30 years? 2. Marble Village, and we've almost finished another one in Rutland called Maplewood Commons. They just haven't happened. We've done a lot of rehab as well. I think that tables may have turned to the point where actually new construction is as cost effective, if not more, than doing rehab, just because it's really expensive and there's so many things that you have to spend money on, like soil remediation, lead paint, and on and on. So VHCB's support in merging us into one has made us stronger. We have greater geographic reach, we have greater organizational strength, and greater capacity to build homes. So VHCB helps us create housing that is perpetually affordable in the long term in our communities. We are not the landlord who in 5 years is going to say, hey, we could condoize this. These units will be here for our neighbors for a really, really, really long time. So that's really different than our saying, hey, invest in our new real estate development. Right? One-time deal, who knows what's going to happen. This will be a center point in West Rutland, a community hub of people living there forever. It will not become an Airbnb. It will not be sold as a second home. We're buying security and safety and reliable homes for our neighbors. And I'll take you back to that. I think I can do that. There we go. So the last thing I really want to say is that we couldn't do it without you. It is not easy. We have amazing staff from our 3 organizations coming into one. We have a strong board, but we need all the help we can get. And so I think that I would make to your committee from both Cornerstone and all the other affordable housing providers in the state is to please fully fund the VHCB request this year in the governor's budget. And if you want to make it more, that'd be great too, because we have, Mary, how often does your, you know, there aren't a lot of developers. We've had 5 or 6 municipalities call us and say, we have a lot. We want to do what Marianne did. And we don't have that kind of funding or capacity at this point. So we're picking and choosing. And we do have an incredibly vibrant pipeline. Things we actually have in active development are over $84 million. It's huge. You may hear about some communities where there's no opportunity. That is not true in Rutland. So if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them. But otherwise, thank you so much for listening to us.
I just want to make a comment. You know, this concept of forever housing, has any of these organizations thought of life transitions? For example, what's wonderful about these affordable housings, you have a couple, they move in, they have 3 children, 30 years later, they move out. And now you have a couple living in a 3-bedroom apartment, house, way bigger than what they need. But because of the perpetual affordable thing, they're not, the numbers can't work for them to downsize.
Are you talking about a house or an apartment? I think
A house,
in a house.
yeah.
I think a lot of people are stuck in cheap mortgages right now, or in that case, homes that they owned. So I think you're referring to if someone had gotten down payment assistance through our NeighborWorks arm. Is that what you're referring to?
I am, because, you know, I mean, it's a, you know, a problem I'm actually experiencing right now. I went through Champlain Housing Trust.
Yep.
I don't have any kids, they're all grown up, but I can't afford to move out.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in a 3-bedroom house that there's nowhere I can go. I can't make enough money to downsize even.
Right. I don't think I know that there's an answer to that, because you're not unlike a grandmother
Right.
living all alone in a house with no mortgage who can't afford to go anywhere. It is a big problem, not unique to your situation. Absolutely.
I just want to throw it on the radar there.
Absolutely. And, you know, I live in a very rural community and we have 10 houses with 3 bedrooms or more with one elderly, generally woman living in them. And there is really no place for them to go. That, you know, we're a rural community, Rutland's a half an hour away. So that's another one for us to all consider, right? What does that look like? Can we build little 5-unit senior facilities, maybe with an apartment that's a caretaker who can help with services?
Yeah, and especially when you consider the demographics. And by 2035, we're going to have more people over the age of 65 than under 21.
Yes, the graph does not look like it's skewing younger, does it? Brief.
Thanks so much. You mentioned on your 3rd slide, some of the benefits that Cornerstone receives. And one of them, I'd like to hear more detail about flexible financing tools. Can you speak a little bit about what those are, and how they're made available, et cetera?
When we say that, it's more like the capital in our stack that comes, and VHCB has lots of different buckets in which they come, that comes to that, and so they supply that, and those are different and flexible for us in developments.
Is that bullet point largely similar then to that final bullet point of, are those the substantial federal, private, and philanthropic resources you're referring to? Okay, thank you.
Kathy, thank you.
Thank you.
Mike, hi. Brought a whole crew with me. We're gonna try to consolidate as best we can. I'm Zach Watson. I'm the Executive Director for Central Vermont Habitat for Humanity, here as part of the Vermont Housing and Conservation Coalition Day.
Those that you don't know, was a member of this committee, 2020, 2021.
That's right. And I sat right in that chair over there. So today I'm joined by two career and technical education centers, Central Vermont and Randolph, to talk about the CTE revolving loan fund, which is a fund that was appropriated to VHCB that is administered by the Vermont Community Loan Foundation Fund, excuse me. It's a flexible financing option, a 0% interest financing with an option for some of it to be forgiven when partnered with affordable housing. So we work with Randolph Tech, Central Vermont Tech, and we're also working with Green Mountain Technical Center in Morrisville to support a project in Greensboro. And we just signed an MOU with Randolph to help build a duplex in Northfield, which is also affordable housing, perpetually affordable. And this project is actually veteran housing. So it's a really wonderful financing source. And as far as I'm concerned, it's probably the most effective housing legislation that's come out of this building in the last 5 years, because it enabled us to finance construction in a time when construction costs were going through the roof at a 0% interest rate. And so we were able to go from building a house every other year to we completed 2 units last year. We're going to complete 3 units this year. And who knows how many units in the future, but we are growing, and it's made possible thanks to this fund and the incredible partnership with the tech centers. So I'm going to let the tech centers introduce themselves.
That's a fund that came from this.
That's right. And I should have said that Mike Marcotte, Representative Marcotte, has been a champion for the tech centers. This program is focused on hands-on learning experiences with students, which you'll learn about. We actually have a student with us today. So with that, I'm going to leave it up to the experts here. Disconnected audio. You were doing it before. There you go. All right, great. So Jody, I'm going to have you introduce yourself and your student.
My name's Wyatt. I'm a Randolph Technical Career Center student. I helped with I think it was the second year of the build. We did quite a lot of stuff there. We helped hang drywall. I got to learn the opportunity to hang drywall, mud and tape. I also helped a little bit with the plumbing. I ran some of the HVAC, and all of those opportunities have helped me get a job at Huntington Homes. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you, Wyatt. And hi, I'm Mika Oaks. I am the director of Randolph Technical Career Center. It's very nice to meet you all. And just super quick, we're going to just take you through a little quick fact sheet and visual tour. So Habitat for Humanity helped create housing for 2 families in Randolph. Took 18 months to complete, and 20 to 30 students benefited from this, including students like Wyatt in the construction program and also students in our electrical program. On average, they were there 3 days a month. Like he said, they did all of the things that you would expect: a concrete slab, this shed building, sheetrocking, windows. It was truly a collaboration that benefited the community and benefited our students and gave them real world experience. It helped them build their resume and gave them a way to experience building a house and feeling like they did something that made a lasting impression. One of our students also got a full-time co-op opportunity and a job through their work for Habitat for Humanity, which was greatly appreciated. It's mutually benefiting our community. We're having a chance to make an impact while also, providing workers for the humanity. It's a total win-win. We're so excited to have been able to be part of that. As I said, it expands the classroom experience into the real world. And so it's one thing to build something in your big classroom. It's another thing to build a real home for real people. Some photos here of them doing what they do and what they love to do. One of the things that they really got to see was that not everything goes perfect. And how do we problem solve when things don't go as according to the timeline? And how do we rebound from that? And how do we make good decisions when not everything is the way we thought it was going to be? You can't do that in a classroom. This is the real world, and this is the connection that we were able to make. So it supplemented our student learning. It created a sense of pride for our students. And we know that this house will stand for 100+ years and will be there for the future. As we drive by, it's right across from our central office. We all see it all day long. We witnessed it growing from its infanthood to what it is now, a beautiful home. And we're super excited to be partnering with Habitat for Humanity, and we will be helping to build the new property in Northfield, Vermont, which is right in our school district, and we will continue probably working with them. So thank you so much for your time, and thanks to Wyatt for being here. Have a great day. Thank you.
Dimitri, Brandon.
Who wants to see it? Hi, I'm Jody Emerson, Superintendent Director of the Central Vermont Career Center, and this is Brennan Morris, our electrical instructor, and Dimitri Kolometsa, who is our building trades instructor. And over the past 2 years, the Central Vermont Career Center collaborated with Habitat for Humanity on a home in Barrie, initially discussing how we might work together and use the Vermont Community Loan Fund to support that work, and then collaborating on a project at 22 Hill Street. And I'll let them talk about it.
Yeah, given the time, I'll try to sum this up for you guys. So I'd like to briefly share how students of the building trades and electrical programs made a real impact. So students were able to get hands-on experience and the importance of service, such as showing up on time. We as the electrical class took on the whole project 100%. Students were able to do the permitting all the way to the final inspection with the inspectors, fix any mistakes that were needed, from the service, working with Green Mountain Power, to everything that's inside the house that powers it. It was a great experience. I think we were there three days a week for the majority of two quarters semester. Great experience. It's right in Barrie. Students are able to drive by continuously and see that what they built. I know for myself, I took building trades and electrical when I was in high school. And to this day, I still think about the houses that we were able to build and put up. It was a great experience. And thinking back to the program, I too worked at Huntington Homes right out of high school too. So I think CT is a great start. It gets you rolling, and it's great experience. Again, I wanted to brief that.
I think a lot of points got covered by previously, which is great, but I'm just gonna continue on.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Dimitri Kolometsa, I'm a building trade instructor at Central Vermont Career Center. Students see how their help provide safe, affordable housing for families in the communities. It shows them that their skills can truly make a difference. They also develop strong work habits by arriving on time, adhering to safety standards, communicating with supervisors, working with part of the team. These are the qualities everyone is looking for. By working alongside Habitat staff, instructors, community volunteers, students learn teamwork and professionalism. They experience how different trades come together to complete successful projects. When you're working on a real house, the problem solving is endless. Things don't line up, things don't work out. You have to solve this. You have to take your time. And what a way to teach this to the kids on a real setting. Like Brandon said, kids drive by the house every day. They see it. They're going to see it 5 years, 10 years from now. They might tell their own kids, hey, I helped build this house. So most important, experience builds confidence, pride. When students see the finished Hill Street house, they know that they help create something meaningful. The sense of accomplishment motivates them. It helps us in the programs, but also it helps them to be successful in their future. And I just want to say, the partnerships, highlights the value of career and technical education and demonstrates how students are helping build a stronger workforce in the community. And I want to thank everybody for being here and please continue to support, this partnership. It's priceless. Thank you very much. Questions, comments, concerns?
I'd also just like to add, I know we're here for funding purposes a little bit. This is huge. You guys were talking about the cost of houses. I think you said 600,000 just for the land situation, right? That cannot be taken on by a school. While we want to do all we can, there is, some hold offs or restrictions. So the fact that Habitat for Humanity and that partnership, yes, it's great for students, but they would miss out on a lot of this, like building a home, just because of land restrictions. So yeah, huge help.
And I'll just tie it all together. Again, this is the CTE revolving loan fund that supported these partnerships. These guys are awesome. Our CTE centers are amazing. The only problem is we don't have enough of them. We need more CTE centers. And this program is made possible because of VHCB. So request that you all totally support fully funding VHCB at its statutory amount of $37.6 million. So thank you all. And thank you for this committee's support of CTE. We are all very grateful for it.
Thanks, Art. Thanks for coming back.
I want to specifically ask the two of you. You look like healthy, able-bodied people. What prompted you to leave the private sector and become instructors?
Sure. Life. Being in construction, you are always away from home. The jobs are never in your hometown. I was a union carpenter for 15 years and my jobs were everywhere from Putnam, New York to Mass to wherever, so, but when I had kids, I said, I have to be close to them. So I was a super sub for 3 years and the opportunity came where I was able to become an instructor. So that's my story.
Yeah, for me, to be honest, what started it was health insurance. That was a big thing. Getting off my parents, I needed to figure something out. I knew I wanted to have kids. I have a 2-year-old daughter now. And so I'm thankful for that. But I also had the opportunity to teach what gave me everything. I was in high school, I was a little unsure what I wanted to do. Junior and senior year, taking both building trades and electrical really set me off to work for a contractor, work at Huntington Homes, kind of grow myself, become a master electrician. And even to this day, having my own company as well to be able to grow my knowledge to bring to students and continue to make projects. So at this point now, it's the connection, seeing the students grow. I just had a student from 6 years ago, the first year I taught, reach out and said he just passed his journeyman license. So that's a great add-on for it.
I think both of us going through training programs, you went through a career center, I went through, different path, but I still went through a 4-year apprenticeship program. I think it's only natural for us to try to pass on. I mean, the average age in construction's mid to upper 40s, so need some new blood.
Thank you very much. Very insightful.
And we actually hired, Brandon was our master electrician on this project as well, which was a no-brainer because he was working with students. It's hard to hire an electrician that also does the teaching. They've got 4 hours to be on site and then they got to go somewhere else. So to have an instructor and an actual contractor work together or as the same person, it worked really well as far as I can tell.
Yeah, the cost was, I'm sure, significantly.
less.
It was just permitting that they had to pay. Students were able to do all the work. Towards the end, I think, student time got a little restriction. So there were some little things that needed to be fixed per inspector. And I was able to do that on nights and weekends. Very minimal. So yeah, no, it was a great opportunity.
They both work summers and evenings and.
Sure.
We're also looking for a new center. Running out of room. Hey, you guys, we think we're joking. We're 70 kids per.
You're not.
70 kids per 16 spots.
Thank you, guys.
And Mike, I got a gift for your committee room here, or you can wear it around if you'd like, but only have, nonprofit, only have one half. It's not for everybody.
Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
Really happy to hear about the Dalton Fund and its work. So, thank you all very much. So with that committee, I think it's lunchtime, be back at 1. So we'll be looking at H Street 85.